Okay. I just got done eating lunch, and I figured going ahead and start volume 3 for I'm a Spider, So What. If you've gotten this far into my readings for this series and you have not subscribed, I'd recommend doing so, because then you'll get notified whenever I upload for either this series or any of the other series that I'm doing, or whatever the heck I'm doing, essentially. And if you want, you can get on Patreon or a membership. Memberships are only at least $2.99 is the lowest one, I think. And it ain't that much, but it helps out a whole lot. Anyway, let's see what this is. Class register. Hold on. Class register. Homeroom teacher. Kanami Okazaki. Boys. Ren Aikawa. Kanata Ushima Katya. Kenichi Ojiwara. Shinobu Kusawa. Naofumi Kogure. Issei Sakurazaki. Kyoya Sasajiwa. I think. Whatever. Sorry. Kunihiko Tagawa. Dai Sushiwa, sorry. Kengo Natsumi. Kota Hayashi. Maki Shuwato. Shunsuke Yamada. Me. Okay, so this is looking at for Shun. Okay. Girls. Ayako Lijiwa, whatever the heck. No, Ijiwa. Sorry. I'm getting myself mixed up. Mirei Shinohara, Faye. Asaka Kushitani. Sachi Kudo. Shuko Sagawa. Saki Tamarikawa. Himiko Tonuka. Sorry. Chi Nanase, Akiko Nejishi, whatever the bad at pronouncing Japanese names. Yuka Hasabe, that is Yuri, if I remember correctly. Mio Furuta and Hiro Wakaba. I think this is our spider friend, if I remember correctly. Okay, now let's exit off of that. I'm going to find the outside. Do we want to eat delicious food? Yeah! I'm sick of eating gross monsters. Let this proclamation go down in history. I vow to escape the Great Elrow Labyrinth and eat delicious food in the outside world. Woohoo! We're with you! Which means that first, we have to escape the middle stratum. There's a good reason I've declared my intent to escape this labyrinth so enthusiastically. See, the frustration building up inside me has reached a boiling point. Basically, the food here is god-awful. A lot of days have passed since I became a spider monster for some unknown reason. A lot of days. We don't know how long it's been. We just know that I'm assuming everyone is still a baby at this point. Except her, obviously. The place I was born in is the world's biggest dungeon, the Great Elrow Labyrinth. Unable to find a way outside, I've been spending all my time living in this labyrinth, but frankly, the food situation here is unbearable. I mean, the only things I can eat in this dungeon are other monsters. Not to mention, they're all horrendously poisonous. Now, the place where I'm currently situated, the middle stratum, actually has some non-poisonous, tasty monsters like catfish and eels. But it's precisely because they exist that I've hit my limit. Because that fireworm I killed, which totally looked like an evolved form of these guys, didn't taste even half decent. After all the work I put in to kill it too. So essentially when you went to eat it, it didn't taste good. Okay. Then I had to descale it. Well, my body brain had to, at least. Look, it's not like it was gross exactly, but it was kind of weird. I definitely wouldn't call it delicious. It was like a flavorless white fish. It probably would have been really good if there was some way to season it. The moment that thought crossed my mind, though, the appetite I'd been suppressing all this time couldn't be held back any longer. Even if the catfish and eel I ate were pretty good, there was always so much more I can bear, and it's obvious they can't measure up to food that's actually been prepared to taste good. I want to eat delicious stuff like that. If I stay in this stupid labyrinth, all I'll ever have is more gross monsters. I'm done with this. I want to go outside and eat a proper meal. With this newfound determination, I've been revising my labyrinth escape plan. Firstly, in order to get out of here, I need to travel from the middle stratum to the upper stratum. The Great Overlord Labyrinth is a huge underground structure, so in order of their proximity to the surface, it's the upper stratum, then the middle stratum, and finally the lower stratum. Also, though I've never been there, there's apparently a bottom stratum too. I was originally born in the upper stratum. That should be the layer closest to the surface. Even there, everything was way too big and confusing, so I gave up halfway through on the possibility of escaping. Then, after a lot of twists and turns, I ended up falling down a huge pit into the lower stratum, which was packed with strong monsters. I somehow managed to get out of there, which is how I wound up in this fiery hellhole known as the middle stratum. I don't know how expansive the middle stratum is, but if I'm not entirely off the mark, I should be steadily approaching the upper stratum, hopefully. If I keep moving forward, I'll get there eventually, as long as nothing goes wrong anyway. There are strong creatures like fireworms roaming around, so I can't let my guard down. I mean, if I made one wrong step a little while back, that fireworm would have actually killed me. And there's no guarantee there aren't even stronger monsters than that lurking around, like a straight-up fire dragon. Yeah, I agree. Because, I mean, if Ereba's around here somewhere, I can't remember if Ereba is around here, or if he's now up in the upper stratum. We don't know. Or he could still be lurking down in the lower stratum. We don't know. But that guy is definitely very strong. Dragons. Just thinking about that word reminds me of the earth dragon Ereba I encountered in the lower stratum. That was definitely more terrifying than anything else I've seen in this world. I barely escaped after it almost squashed me like a bug. At the time, I couldn't even feel anger or regret. All I could do was tremble in fear before such overwhelming power. If I ever run into something that powerful again, I'm gonna run away without a second thought. My top priority is staying alive. Escaping the labyrinth comes second. I can't forget that. Luckily, it's gotten a little easier to survive now that my combat ability has increased so much, as long as I don't run into anything like that Ereba. But I seriously doubt that many equivalent monsters exist. Plus, the critters in the middle stratum are weaker than in the lower stratum, so I shouldn't have anything to worry about. The fireworm I defeated was probably the boss of the middle stratum, right? Gotta be. I hope. Though, didn't you encounter another dragon around here somewhere? Or maybe that was back in the lower stratum. I think it was the lower stratum. So there's two different dragons running around here. Around in the lower stratum. Which means that as far as escaping from the labyrinth goes, my chances of reaching the upper stratum soon are looking pretty good. As long as I continue exploring the middle stratum, I'm sure I'll hit the upper stratum eventually. And if I can train up some of my new skills like spatial magic, I bet stuff like teleporting will be possible sooner or later. Once that happens, I could theoretically warp right up to the top without having to drag my butt all the way through the middle stratum. But I have no idea how long it'll take to improve that skill, or whether that's how it even works, so I better keep pushing ahead for now. So anyway, I think the middle stratum would be fine. The real problem is the step after that, escaping from the upper stratum to the outside world. I don't know how that's going to work. Unlike the middle stratum, which has a single main path running through it, the upper stratum is more like a complicated maze. Not to mention it's ludicrously massive. If I can learn teleport and just pop outside, that'd be great. But I'm guessing there's a restriction of some sort. Maybe a requirement like you can only jump to places you've already physically visited? Yep, you would have to. You'd have to find the closest place to an exit you could get. And then teleport there, and then make your way through. The rest of wherever you have to go in order to get to the exit. So, yeah, that's what you would have to do. I think that is probably an actual restriction if you do have that ability sometime. That means I'll have to find an actual exit. But given the size of the labyrinth, it feels like that could take years. Great Overlord Labyrinth, you're breaking my heart here. But I can worry about all that when I get back to the upper stratum. Plus, even if I do manage to reach the outside world, there's still another problem. In fact, that part might be the hardest issue to deal with. Because, I'm a spider monster, you know? If I roll into a human town searching for something tasty food, I bet you anything they'll be like, a monster's attacking our homes! Kill it! Kill it! I mean, if I were a human and a spider monster suddenly appeared on the street, I'd probably react the same way. Yep, most likely. Given this predictable outcome, I won't be able to get tasty cooked food no matter what I do. Even if I do run into a human, I don't think I can just go, don't worry, teehee, I'm not a bad spider. I have two ideas for how to get around this. One option is to evolve a bunch of times to become an arachnid. I'll still be a monster, but if I at least have a humanoid upper half, maybe I'll be treated with a little less suspicion than an ordinary monster. Plus, having that kind of body probably means I'd be able to talk. Maybe. Or at least you should be able to try and get telepathy. That should be your next skill you should grab, is telepathy, in case you can't talk in that so wait, at least you could talk. However, the evolutionary path to arachnate is pretty long, so I'd have to be doggedly persistent. The second option is to obtain the telepathy skill. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I ain't even read far enough down to see that. I was just saying, yeah, you need telepathy, so even if you can't go into an arachnate form right now, you should still be able to communicate. As the name implies, it's a skill that allows the user to converse using their thoughts, so even if I can't physically speak, I'd still be able to communicate my intentions to others. Getting this skill would be a lot easier than evolving to arachnate, but I don't think telepathy would be any use in combat. If I ever become involved in a party, it'd be helpful for coordinating with my other party members, but I'm a definition of a loner. Also, like I mentioned earlier, my top priority is ultimately to survive. I can't really justify spending valuable skill points on a skill like telepathy that isn't going to be useful in battle. Well, I mean, I would get it as soon as you got into the surface. That's what I would do. On top of all that, there's another very important point that poses a problem whether I go for arachnate or telepathy. I don't know the language of this world. The divine voice temporary speaks in Japanese, but that doesn't mean the rest of the world will be so kind. You might be able to pick up on the language. I mean, the others were able to. I mean, sometimes in stories that have similar settings to my situation, it just so happens everyone speaks Japanese for convenience sake, but this is a completely different world, so it's safe to assume no one understands my language. If anything, it seems strange that the divine voice temporary speaks Japanese in the first place. I get the feeling it's better not to think too hard about it, so I usually ignore it. Most of all, even if I do speak whatever language people use, I'm really, really bad at talking to people. My communication skills are so lacking that I frankly prefer to avoid interacting with others entirely. I wasn't ostracized into becoming a loner in my previous life, you know. I became a loner of my own accord because I prefer being alone. It's true, okay? I'm not lying. So to sum it up, even if I do make it out of the labyrinth, I still have tons of problems. And if worrying about that, let's take a look at my current status. Zoa L, level 15, nameless. Status, HP 602 out of 602, green, plus 189. MP 4,196, damn! Out of 4,196, yeah, you definitely would have a hard time using all that. SP 622 out of 622, yellow. Blue. No, never mind. The MP is blue, plus 437, sorry. The red is 622 out of 622, at plus 971, that's your overeating stuff. Average offensive ability, 606. Average magical ability, 4,001. Average speed ability, 2,680. Wow, your magic ability is actually overcoming your speed. Wow. Average defensive ability, I think this is how I had it before, damn it. HP auto recovery, level 7. Destruction enhancement, level 3. I'm sorry, this is so damn small. I don't know why it has to be this small. Hold on. Mental warfare, level 4. Height of occultism. SP recovery speed, level 6. SP lessen consumption, level 7. Cutting enhancement, level 3. Poison enhancement, level 7. Hold on. I had to get my glasses fixed. Magic warfare, level 2. Energy conferment, level 2. Worm power, level 1. Deadly poison attack, level 3. Let me go to the next page. Damn it. Hold on. I'm going to have to stand up probably for this. Raw attack, level 1. Heretic attack, level 1. Poison synthesis, level 8. Threadsmanship, level 4. Utility thread, level 1. Thread control, level 8. Throw, level 7. Spatial maneuvering, level 9. Dang, you're almost level 10 for that. Stealth, level 8. Silence, level 5. Concentration, level 10. Thought acceleration, level 7. I guess your concentration didn't evolve. Foresight, level 7. Parallel minds, level 2. Or maybe it did, I don't know. High-speed processing, level 3. Hit, level 9. You're almost at level 10 on that. Evasion, level 9. Same for that. Intimidation, level 1. Heretic magic, level 6. Shadow magic, level 7. Poison magic level 7, spatial magic level 1, abyss magic level 10, destruction resistance level 3, impact resistance level 3, cutting resistance level 3, fire resistance level 4, dark resistance level 2, deadly poison resistance level 2, paralysis resistance level 5, petrification resistance level 3, acid resistance level 4, rot resistance level 4, pain nullification, fate resistance level 3, pain mitigation level 7, fear resistance level 7, heresy nullification, vision enhancement level 10, telescopic sight level 8. Is that going to evolve? Night vision level 10, vision expansion level 3, cursed evil eye level 7, paralyzing evil eye level 5, auditory enhancement level 9, olfactory enhancement level 7, taste enhancement level 7, tactile enhancement level 8, celestial power, longevity level 1, instant body level 1. I wonder what that is. Oh, my head. Endurance level 1, Demon Lord level 1, Wisdom, Divinity Expansion level 4, Skanda level 4, Gluttony level 1. Oh, she did get Gluttony! Oh! Where did that come in? Is that what overeating turned into? Because I know that it ended up turning into something else. Gorge. That's what it turned into. Taboo level 8. Sturdy level 4. Pride. Hades. Herculean strength level 4. Perseverance. And conviction. And the weird one. And skill point 0. Titles. Foul feeder. Poison technique user. Ruler of pride. Fearbringer. Kin eater. Thread user. Ruler of perseverance. Assassin. Merciless. Ruler of wisdom. Monster slayer. Monster slaughterer. And worm slayer. Okay, ow. Ow, my head. Ow. It's just the way I was standing and looking at the dang page. I had to get close. Okay, let me just fix that real quick. I think that's actually how I probably need to keep it. Man, I've gotten really strong. My stats are a lot higher now, but I've got so many skills that you can barely even tell what's going on at a glance. Most of these are pretty useful, so that's all well and good, but without parallel minds, how in the world would I make sure they were all working? Thinking of it that way, parallel minds is nothing short of fantastic, even if it can be a teensy bit annoying. Hey, I heard that information, brain. Oh, hush. Still, though, it's crazy how much my magic stats have gone up. At the very least, it's the one category where I might have a chance to surpass the Earth Dragon stats I caught a glimpse of once. That being said, my physical stats are still pretty low. On the whole, I've got a long ways to go. Still, I was able to defeat a worm, which is one step away from a dragon, so I think I'm allowed to be a little confident. I could be on par with a dragon someday. Maybe I'll eventually have my revenge on that Erba? Nope, on second thought, forget that. Our dragons are scary. Seriously scary. S1, new hero. My teacher was quick to inform my father that I had received the hero title. Shortly afterward, my father summoned me home, so I left the school to return to the royal castle. This is my first time coming home in ages, but my mental state is nowhere near stable enough to spare a thought for that right now. Trying to calm my swirling thoughts, I meet with my father. Instead of the audience room, I head toward my father's office. It was a large room with documents scattered everywhere. Besides the two of us, several others had gathered. Schlaine, I'm sorry to call you home like this. My father speaks gravely when I enter the room. Even though I've actually met him only a handful of times, I can tell that the tone of his voice is heavier than usual. It's far more solemn than it was even at the appraisal ceremony. First, please allow me to have you appraised to confirm you have the hero title. Of course. My father is holding the same appraisal stone that was used in the ceremony. As soon as I agreed, I felt an uncomfortable sensation begin running through my body like I was being licked all over. Ew. This was the same feeling I had when I first met my teacher. It must be the discomfort of being appraised. You really do have it. My father's voice grows even heavier. Then he covers his face with his hands and begins to weep. Julius. My older brother's name escaped my father's lips. As soon as I hear it, I feel the tears welling in my own eyes. I try to control myself to remember where I am, but I can't stop it. My vision blurs. I mean, dude, you looked up to your brother so dang much. Of course you'd be devastated if you hear he died. I feel a hand on my shoulder. It's the third prince, my next eldest brother, Leston. He embraces me gently and strokes my hair. I haven't seen Leston very often either. But he's a good-hearted person and the brother I was closest with after Julius. It was too much for me to bear. I passed my limit. I cling to my brother Leston and sob uncontrollably. For a while the cries are all that fill the room. Father, I know we are all mourning Julius. However, we must think to the future as well. Let's begin talks, shall we? The person who speaks up to dispel the dark atmosphere is the first prince, our eldest brother, Silas. To be honest, I'm not super comfortable with him. He's always immersed in his work with a sour look on his face. I've never seen him laugh once. Aside from my older sister, who I've never met since she married into another kingdom, he's the only sibling I've never felt an attachment to. Brother Silas, father and Shun are clearly in pain. Surely we can give them a little more time to grieve. It's all right, Leston. What Silas says is true. But father, restrain yourself, Leston. Father has spoken. Brother Silas. All right, as a family, the depths of our sorrow know no bounds. But before we are individuals, we are royalty. And as such, we must fulfill our duties to the people. Only once that is done may we grieve. My father wipes his tears away with his sleeves. His eyes are red and swollen from crying, yet they are filled with a powerful light. Is this what it means to be a king? Amazing, I wouldn't be able to even come close to imitating it. The fact that Shlaine has inherited the title of hero must mean Julius is dead. I mean, yeah, that's kind of a given right there. Because there's no way he can die and then come back. Right? Right? That would be awful. Tightening his lips, my father lays out the words that no one had spelled out yet. Hearing it said aloud, I feel as if I'm being confronted with the reality of Julius's death all over again. It's unthinkable that the next hero after Julius should hail from our kingdom again, never mind being his own brother. Perhaps fate does not smile favorably upon us. My father looks far from pleased by the fact that I've become the next hero. It might just be because he's mourning Julius's death, but he seems genuinely bewildered that I was chosen. It's very rare for the hero to come from a royal family. The qualifications that determine who's chosen are unclear, but they have nothing to do with the person's rank or social status. It's said that the title is given to a human with a pure and honest spirit, but no one knows for sure if that's true. When Julius was chosen as the hero, there was a lot of dispute over it because of his status as royalty. A second hero belonging to the exact same royal family might cause unnecessary chaos. That must be what my father is worried about. Shlaine, this hasn't been made public yet, but we received word that the demon's army has finally begun its invasion. More likely than not, Julius lost his life fighting against them. The demon army. I have heard lots of talk that the demons were becoming more active, but I guess the time has finally come, so even Julius couldn't defeat them. I mean, he probably got overwhelmed is probably what the problem is, because you could be the strongest person out there, or to have that kind of title, and still, if the numbers are enough, they can overwhelm and kill you, essentially. Because, I mean, that's what happened to, almost happened to our spider friend a couple times. So even Julius couldn't defeat them. No information on the outcome of that battle has arrived yet. We sent a talented spatial magic user to investigate, but at that moment, someone knocked on the door. Come in. Thank you. I don't remember the name of this person, but I think it's one of the generals of our kingdom. The man slowly walks to the middle of the room and kneels. I have come with intelligence regarding the battle between the human army and the demon army. Perfect timing. What's the situation, sir? The battlefield is still in chaos, so I don't know all the details, but it seems that our side has narrowly managed to drive back the demon army at the cost of massive casualties. I see. Go on. What we do know now is that several fortresses have fallen. According to our reports, this includes Fort Kusorian. What? That enormous fortress? Yes, although that has not been confirmed, the area is in chaos. So many baseless rumors are flying around. There is hearsay and speculation afoot claiming that the demon army has summoned a massive monster or that the forts were blown away with the largest spell man has ever seen, but it's difficult to confirm how much of that is true. I see, but it's been confirmed that the demon army has withdrawn, correct? Indeed, that I can say without a doubt. Understood. Thank you for a report. Please continue gathering information. Yes, sir. Then if you'll excuse me, the general leaves the room. My father closes his eyes and furrows his brow, pondering something deeply. My brothers and I wait for his next words. It seems Julius's death is not assured. Indeed, there is still a great deal of confusion on the battlefield. What shall we do? For the moment, let us keep Julius's death and Shlaine's acquisition of the hero title a secret. Not a soul can object to my father's decision. I don't really understand politics myself, so I figured it best not to run my mouth. We still don't know for sure whether the demon army has fully withdrawn. If we were to announce that the hero has died, we could cause needless anxiety among our people. I'm sure word will spread from the battlefield eventually, and Julius's death will become widely known, but until then, let us keep it to ourselves. Father, what of Schlaine? Unfortunately, in light of today's events, Schlaine will have to withdraw from school immediately. And Schlaine, please be prepared to announce yourself as the new hero at a moment's notice. Yes, sir. I know this is all very sudden, but from now on, you are the hero. You must carry on in Julius's footsteps and take up arms on the front lines of battle as humanity's greatest hope. Now, you may not be prepared for that just yet. We have little time until word gets out about Julius's death, but you will have to steel yourself in that short period. Humanity's greatest hope? I won't suddenly be ready to shoulder something like that. You will need time to sort out your thoughts, I'm sure. Take the remainder of today to rest. My father's voice has become gentle. I suppose I should take him up on his offer. Thank you. Excuse me. With a few short words, I leave the room. Father and Leston look after me with concern. Silas's eyes are cold. I close the door behind me and cut off their gaze. I feel like I could collapse on the spot, but I manage to keep walking forward. Poor guy. He just lost his brother, and now he has to deal with the fact that he's going to have to be on the front lines at some point when he just got the damn title. Do they really think that he's going to be able to even do anything? Sending this guy out now would be suicide, essentially. They'd lose the hero right as soon as they got him. He might have, a lot of, he might be, like a prodigy or something, but that doesn't mean he's fully capable like his brother is. His brother has had years with that title. So, you can't really expect him to be able to take out the mantle just like his brother, because there's no comparison right now. Interlude, the teacher and the third prince. So Shun inherited the hero title. This is terrible. Yeah, and something suspicious seems to be going on around here. I might not be able to handle it on my own. Understood, I will return at once. I'm sorry to bother you while you're so busy already. A teacher always does her best for her students. I respect that about you. Thank you, although I don't remember being such a hot-blooded character myself. Have you reported to Master Potimus? I think is how I pronounce it. I have. In the worst-case scenario, we may need to consider having the elves shelter Shun. I see, yes, that may be for the best. You don't object? I don't want to lose another brother after Brother Julius. Of course I want to do whatever will keep him alive, even if it means I can never see him again. Very well, we'll do our best then. Alright, I'm counting on you. Miss Oka, what are you doing? You can't just hide the hero away. That's the worst. That's the opposite of what they need to do. True, he needs to get stronger and everything, but I highly doubt that's what you're planning on doing. 2. Labyrinths, Zenith, I call thee mother. Huh? Several days have passed since I made up my mind to reach the outside. Exploring the middle stratum has been going smoothly. Yep, it's been going alright so far. Ever since I crossed the sea of magma where I was attacked by the fireworm and made it to proper land, things have proceeded uneventfully. That's right, uneventfully. In fact, maybe too uneventfully. Literally nothing is happening, actually. What I'm trying to say is that all the monsters around here, like the seahorses that used to attack me at every step, have instead been running away as soon as they lay eyes on me. Well, that's, the Fearbringer title, of course. Now, that's surprising. Aren't you guys supposed to be an aggressive species? Shouldn't you all get all fired up when you see a strong opponent worthy of your time? Fleeing is disgraceful for a species supposedly known for its love of fighting, you see. I know the reason they're acting this way, though. It's the Fearbringer title I got in the battle with the fireworm. On top of the title applying a fear effect to anything within my line of sight, it also causes the bonus skill called Intimidation that carries a similar effect. It's like I'm the biggest bully in school. Thanks to that, as soon as the other monsters see me, they scatter with their tails between their legs. Apparently, the fear effect is strong enough to overcome even a monster's most basic impulses. And unfortunately, I can't turn off the effects of the title. I can switch the skill Intimidation on and off, but even when I deactivate it, the result is the same. So now all the warlike species of the middle stratum have turned into a bunch of cowards. Because of that, I haven't had a single monster battle, meaning I can't get any food or experience points. I'm fine on the experience side, I guess. I'd like to keep earning more and raising my level if possible, but since no one in the middle stratum will dare oppose me, that's not as big a deal. On the other hand, I'm about to find myself in a serious food supply problem. My only source of nutrition in the labyrinth is the flesh of other creatures. I won't have anything to eat if I can't take down some monsters. If they were on land, I could ambush them before they could run into the magma, but apparently my aura of fear cancels out my stealth skill or something. Because now everyone notices me long before I get near them. They book it into the magma before I can touch them. Once they're in there, I can't do a damn thing, you know? Ugh, I wish I had a fishing line that wouldn't burn up. Not that I had bait to use as a lure anyway. Currently, my red stamina gauge that was nice and full after eating the fireworm, eels, and so on is now slowly but steadily decreasing. It won't be an issue this very instant, but I'll die of starvation once it runs out. I have to come up with a plan before that happens. The ideal situation will be to get out of the middle stratum into the upper stratum before it reaches a critical point. There's no magma in the upper stratum, and with my speed I could easily catch any monster that tries to run away. If it weren't for this stupid magma, I wouldn't be having this problem in the first place. The most powerful enemy I've faced in the whole middle stratum is this hot mess. Well, apparently I spoke too soon. Ignore that. It's my nephew's tablet. Ever since I arrived in the middle stratum, or maybe around the time I got pride, I've been getting a lot stronger. That's how I was able to beat the eels, fireworm, etc., etc. I might have gotten a little too full of myself after I won that battle. There's always someone who's stronger than you. In my case, it's someone I already knew existed, and as I was traveling through the middle stratum, I found a huge hole. It was a massive shaft that ran through the middle stratum to the other layers, similar to the one I fell through that led to the lower stratum, but the instant I laid eyes on this particular pit, I felt an incredibly strong sense of danger emanating from it. Since being reborn in this world, I've had countless brushes with death. However, I've felt an extreme sense of crisis and fear on only 3 occasions. 2 of those were when I sighted the earth dragon Erebba, a harbinger of death that I met in the lower stratum. The third is slowly coming into view at this very moment. 8 enormous eyes gleam in the magma's glow. 8 legs, so large that they tower like buildings, easily bore holes into the sheer walls. In terms of shape, it's not too far from how I looked before I evolved into a Zoa L. But the difference in size and presence can only be described as huge. For the first time since being reborn in this world, I felt overwhelmed with despair. Hello, Mother. Long time no see. Looming before me is an enormous spider monster, the one who gave birth to me. Are you sure about that? Even if this is the largest labyrinth in the world, I doubt there are many of these creatures hanging around. If there were, I'd already be dead. This must be the same one I saw shortly after being born. Unfortunately, I can't appraise it because it's so far away. If I could, I'm sure its stats would be so horrifying that I'd probably have to laugh. I am curious, but I definitely don't want to get any closer. Despite all the distance between us, my legs are already wobbling. I don't need to use appraise to know in my gut that I should be terrified. My mother moves slowly down the wall of the pit. Then another enormous shadow draws near. This monster is similar to the fireworm I defeated earlier, but it's definitely one size bigger, plus it has wings. It must be a higher ranked monster than the fireworm. In which case, maybe it's a fire dragon? This possibly a fire dragon flies toward my mother. A swarm of middle strata monsters follow close behind. Oh? What's going on? Is this an epic monster battle? A territorial dispute? I gulp, swallowing my spit. It feels like I'm watching a giant monster movie in the theaters, but instead of seeing things play out on a screen, it's happening right before my eyes. This is intense. My mother and the fire dragon army fiercely stare at each other down. I'm not close enough to appraise them, so I don't know their stats, but if this fire dragon is comparable to that Erebba, the fight might be evenly matched. In terms of physique, Mother definitely has the advantage, but the fire dragon has its minions to make up for that. However, my hopes for a lively monster battle are unexpectedly betrayed in an instant. Mother matter-of-factly points her fangs toward the fire dragon and its army immediately after the world trembles. I'm not using the phrase as a metaphor. The ground is actually shaking. Even though I'm theoretically far removed from the danger zone, the aftershock is enough to knock me off my feet. The vibrations run through the ground as if the entire labyrinth itself is screaming. If I had to describe it with a sound effect, it'd probably be rattle, rattle, or kaboom. I don't really know what kind of attack it was. It was far beyond the scope of my comprehension. All I know is once I get back on my feet, I see a freshly made enormous crater where the fire dragon army once stood. Between this and Erebba, I gotta say, do super strong monsters have a habit of making craters or what? Maybe I'll understand when I'm old enough to be able to make one myself. Okay, enough joking around. Magma is flowing into the new crater. Oh, I guess that's how magma lakes are made. Huh? Wait. The fire dragon army. There's not so much as a crumb left behind. Apparently satisfied with the result of her destructive attack, Mother slowly starts going back down into the pit. Man, I figured she was crazy strong for an upper strata monster, but this is a whole other level. I'm sure its species normally makes its home in the lower stratum or even the bottom stratum. If that thing was wandering around the upper stratum all this time, it'd be enough to destroy the whole entire ecosystem there. Maybe she went to the upper stratum to lay eggs or something? Maybe. Her offspring consist of pterotex that are both small and lesser after all. The fact that such an insanely powerful beast gives birth to such garbage-level small fry baby spiders could probably be one of the 7 wonders of the monster world. Oh, great mother, why couldn't thou not hand that incredible strength down to your children? My life in the lower labyrinth would have been so much easier. Oh, but in that case, I guess the family feuds would get pretty vicious. These guys would happily kill and eat their siblings if they're hungry enough. If all of them had the same degree of power as Mother, yeah, they'd probably bring down the whole labyrinth. Alright, maybe it's better this way after all. Forget the labyrinth. If a massive swarm of monsters that powerful existed, the whole world could very well collapse. And while I was being distracted with these world-lost thoughts, Mother vanished into the pit. Even after she disappeared, I stayed in the same place for a while. Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill, Fear Resistance level 7 has become Fear Resistance level 8. Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill, Stealth level 8 has become Stealth level 9. Maybe she does normally stay in the bottom stratum if she only goes up to the upper stratum to lay her eggs. I'm surprised she didn't notice you. But whatever. S2, Omen. 1 month has passed since I left school, and that time I've done nothing but solo training at the castle. Now that I'm the hero, I need to become stronger. At least that was my official reason. Really, it was mostly because I had to do something to keep my thoughts from spiraling out of control. Exercising makes me feel a tiny bit better. From what I've heard, Julius's death is being kept a secret from the world at large. My father probably played a big role in this, but it could also be that the other kingdoms felt it would be dangerous to reveal the hero's death during a time of such unrest. It seems word has already made its way around on the battlefield, but in this kingdom at least, where it's far away from the front lines, there's still some time before the rumor spread. Apparently, the demons haven't attacked since. Their army sustained considerable losses in the battle as well, so the assumption is that they won't be making any moves for a while. That being said, I can't let my guard down. This isn't someone else's problem for me anymore. School is apparently still going on as usual. I often use Far Talk to communicate with Sue, Katya, and the others about it. How are things going over there? Same as ever, aside from a bit of confusion over why you left school so suddenly. Alright, tell everyone I said hello, okay? Yes, of course. Hi, Sue, how are you? I'm well. That's good. How are things going there? Yuri was called back to the church today. She was? Yes, most likely the information about Julius's death has been relayed to the church as well. Right, and since she's supposed to be the next saint... Exactly, what do you think happened to the saint who worked with Julius? More than likely dead. From what I've heard, his entire party was lost except for Hyrens. I see. I've been told Hyrens will be returning soon. I should be able to talk to him. I think I have a lot of questions. Of course, please try to keep a low profile, okay? Father did tell me not to talk about being the hero until it's formally announced. If that's what you mean, I won't be doing anything stupid. I hope not. Come on, don't say that. Are you just worried about me? Of course I am. Oh, well, thank you. You're welcome. We had a lot of conversations like that. Hyrens is a childhood friend of Julius's, a warrior who's fought side by side with him. I've met him a few times when he was together with my brother. Once Hyrens comes back, I'll definitely be asking him some questions. How did my older brother die? To be honest, I have a hard time believing that my brother could have been defeated so easily when he was so strong. Did he get caught in a cowardly trap? Or did he face an army too numerous even for him to handle? I would say it's probably the latter. Unless we're told otherwise, because I can't remember if they mentioned it in the anime. There's no way my brother lost in a one-on-one duel. When Hyrens is back, I'll finally be able to get some answers. We've gotten a lot more information about the state of things at the battlefield by now, but most of the facts regarding Julius are still unknown. All I know is that Hyrens is the only member of my older brother's party who survived. The only magic user in this kingdom who's capable of using teleport is currently flying about gathering information, but in this case, it might be faster to simply wait for Hyrens' arrival. What information the mage has brought back from the battlefield has all been crushing. On the border between human and demon territory, each side has constructed fortresses to prevent the other from invading. There were 8 fortresses on the human side which fended off demon invasion for a long time, but in this battle, the demons sent forces to attack all 8 forts. Although the exact number of soldiers is unknown, it's said that it was the largest army ever gathered. The Renzant Empire, which is the kingdom closest to the border, fought back with all its might alongside reinforcements from neighboring kingdoms. In terms of sheer scale, it will be no exaggeration to say that this is now an all-out war between humans and demons. And for the 8 human fortresses, half of them have fallen. The hardest loss is Fort Kusorion, our most important point of defense. Apparently the battle was going well until an enormous monster appeared out of nowhere, after which the fort was destroyed. Based on its sudden appearance, many believe the demons summoned it, but apparently it caused damage to the demon army as well. The monster that was summoned is known as a legendary class monster, the incredibly strong spider monster called the Queen Pterodactyl. I assume at this point that is not our spider friend's mother. I'm assuming. Because they're teenagers right now, and she gets out of the labyrinth when they're still babies! According to reports, it's a walking calamity that destroyed an entire army spearheaded by a hero. Since it also attacked its allies on the demon side, it's generally thought that it would simply summon to the battlefield without a contract, but either way, the beast is an enormous threat. This wasn't the only attack that utilized monsters either. Fort Akun was apparently brought down by a swarm of creatures. In this case, it was a species called the Anagrat, also known as the Vengeful Monkey. Ooh, the Vengeful Monkey, eh? I remember those. There are periodic surges and sightings of this monster near the human-demon border. It's common knowledge that if one of them is killed, the rest of the group will not rest until they have annihilated the killer. Yeah, we've experienced that firsthand with our spider friend. Taking advantage of that trait, the demon army somehow released a live Anagrat into Fort Akun, where one of the fortress's soldiers killed it. This brought a massive horde of Anagrats down onto the fortress, seeking revenge, charging the defenses until it eventually fell. If there's any silver lining, it's that the Anagrats there took up residence in the fort, so the demon army won't be able to use it either. The other two forts were brought down by direct military attacks. Though the other forts survived, they didn't come through unscathed either. 3 of them just barely escaped complete destruction. None of the enemy commanders were captured, so it's not like we can really consider those victories. Only Fort Desaro, which was under the command of Elder Ronant, said to be the strongest living human mage, was able to achieve complete victory by bringing down the enemy commander without sustaining heavy losses. Looking at the situation as a whole, it seemed like a stalemate at best, but given how much our defensive position has deteriorated, you could probably call it a defeat. The demon army probably took a comparable number of casualties, but with most of our forts damaged or destroyed, they've managed to open up a path into human territory proper. There's no way of knowing when they'll reorganize their forces and begin the true invasion, and when the assault does resume, I'll be standing on the front lines of the battlefield as the new hero. To be honest, I'm scared. I've always dreamed of someday fighting at Julius' side, but I thought that day was still in the distant future. Heck, we all did! I never thought I would have to take to the battlefield so quickly, and I certainly never imagined that my brother would die. No, I should stop lying to myself. Even if my brother Julius was still alive, I doubt I would have ever fought by his side. Fighting frightens me. I'm reluctant to even kill monsters. If my opponent has a clear will and intelligence, there's no way I'd be able to do it. But it's not because I'm kind and caring like Julius was. I'm a coward. And yet I'm supposed to succeed him as the next hero? No one knows better than I do that I can never become the incredible hero he was. Which is why the title of hero feels like a weight bearing down on me. On top of that, I'm alone now. No Sue, who's been by my side since I was born, or Katya, who I've spent time with since our previous lives. They're at the academy. I can't take them with me to the battlefield. Besides, Sue is a princess, and Katya is the daughter of a duke. Even if this ends up being a battle to determine the fate of mankind, no, especially if it does, I can never put them in such a dangerous position. Although it's possible Yuri will be with me if she's appointed as a saint. And that's only if she's chosen from among the other candidates for future sainthood. The only one who would be able to come with me without worrying about their position is Faye, who's contracted to me as a familiar. But even then, I'm not sure if I want to bring her. Before I was appointed the new hero, Faye and I formally entered a contract as master and familiar. As a result, I can now call Faye to my side from anywhere in the world with a summoning skill. Technically, I can also use that skill to give orders that Faye would be forced to obey, but I have no intention of doing that. The master-familiar relationship is only a formality. We're still essentially equals. The contract is really only so that I can summon her if I need to. Honestly, I wasn't particularly interested in making the contract at first, but Faye was the one who suggested it. She said things would be more convenient that way, but as soon as I became the hero, something strange happened to Faye. When I saw it tucked away in a remote spot of the castle, I couldn't hide my shocked gasp. Enshrined in that corner is something that looks like a huge egg covered in a white shell, and that egg is actually Faye. I have no idea why she suddenly entered this egg-like state. When I became the hero and was summoned to the castle, this is what happened. When I appraise it, it simply says worm egg. I don't know if Faye is still alive in there. Even so, I'm afraid to break the shell. The shell is quite hard, so even if I wanted to crack it open, it would take a considerable amount of strength. But if Faye is in there, I can't just carelessly attack the shell or I might hurt her. A scholar of the castle examined it and told me she's probably alive inside and I should leave it as is, but that hasn't eased my anxiety at all. None of my friends are with me. Faye is in this strange condition, and yet I'm supposed to somehow prepare myself to be a hero. I feel like the pressure is going to crush me. That's why for now, I've been concentrating entirely on training, exercising my body without thinking to hold my thoughts at bay. That's all I can do. I continue to push my body past its limits until my mind goes completely blank. Poor guy. I wonder if she's evolving. Is that the state she goes into when she evolves? I don't know. 3. Spider versus Fire Dragon. Even after Mother descended into the huge shaft, many minutes passed before I could no longer sense her presence. I might have even been standing here for more than an hour. Finally, I start moving again. First things first, I put as much distance as possible between that hole that my mother passed through and me. If I climb up through the pit, I'll probably reach the upper stratum, but I have no desire to do that. I'm scared of Mother, literally terrified. Didn't she go down into the pit? If you go up, you shouldn't have to worry about it. Even if my brain can logic out that she won't find me, my body absolutely refuses. Slowly and steady wins the race, or stays alive at least. Better to plan for the worst case scenario. I can't underestimate how low my luck stat really is. Seriously, how unlucky can I get? Okay, Fire Dragon. Fire Dragon Rend, level 20. Status HP 1,709 out of 3,701. Oh wait, it's still alive somehow! Green, details. SP 3,698 out of 3,698. Yellow, details. Average offensive ability 3,281 details. Average magical ability 2,645 details. Average speed ability 3,175 details. MP 3,122 out of 3,122. Blue, details. 3,665 out of 3,665. Red, plus 9 details. Average defensive ability, 3,009 details. Average resistance ability, 3,601 details. Oh god, here we go again. How was I able to see this before? I guess because... Hang on. What does it look like this? Oh, that's even worse. I guess this works. Hang on. Okay. Skills. Fire Dragon level 1. Imperial Scales level 8. HP Rapid Recovery level 3. MP Auto Recovery level 6. MP Lesson Consumption level 6. Magic Power Perception level 5. Magic Power Operation level 4. Let's see. SP Rapid Recovery level 1. SP Minimized Consumption level 1. Magic Power Attack level 4. Flame Attack level 9. Flame Resist Enhancement level 7. Destruction Enhancement level 6. Cutting Enhancement level 2. Piercing Enhancement level 2. Impact Super Enhancement level 2. Cooperation level 10. Command level 2. Spatial Maneuvering level 4. Hit level 10. Evasion level 10. Probability Super Correction level 3. I think that's level 5, sorry. Presence Perception level 10. Danger Perception level 10. Heat Perception level 3. Flight level 7. High Speed Swimming level 10. Fire Magic level 4. Cutting Resistance level 1. Piercing Resistance level 1. Impact Super Resistance level 1. Heat Nullification. Status Condition Resistance level 1. Longevity level 3. Level 5, sorry. Magic Horde level 4. Instant Body level 5. What's this instant body thing? I'd like to know that. Endurance level 5. Herculean Strength level 5. Sturdy level 5. Monk level 4. What's Monk level 4? Talisman level 3. Rapid Movement level 5. Gluttony level 2. Skill points 30,050. Titles: Monster Slayer, Champion, Monster Slaughterer, Commander, Dragon. Okay, hold on. Let me make that smaller. Okay, I think that's fine. Damn it. This guy suddenly pops up out of the magma lake on the other side of the pit. Yep, it's the fire dragon that Mother smacked down earlier. Wait, so you're alive? That's crazy. You got blown all the way over here by Mother's attack, but you somehow managed to survive? Unreal, that's ridiculous. There's no time to be impressed with the fire dragon's will to live. This thing looks really mad that Mother wailed on it. And so it's totally locked on me. I have nothing to do with her, okay? Oh wait, she's my parent, so technically I'm not entirely unrelated, huh? Okay, who cares about that right now? Hey, this guy is faster than me! I've been stuck in a few situations now where I haven't been able to run away for one reason or another, but this is the first time the reason is because I'm outmatched in pure speed. Oh wait, did I not tell you guys the speed and all that? Hang on. Hold on. I didn't. I don't think. Average defensive ability, 3009. Average resistance ability, 2601. Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me make this slightly smaller. Okay. Okay, this is what I'm okay. I've been stuck in a few situations now where I haven't been able to run away for one reason or another, but this is the first time the reason is because I'm outmatched in pure speed. I can't escape. This means I'm going to have to prepare for the worst. I kick parallel mines up to max synchronization level. The fire dragon and I face each other down. To be honest, I don't know if I stand a chance. Its stats are definitely higher than mine. That hasn't stopped you before. It's got an attribute advantage over me too. Worst of all is that status condition resistance skill. As the name implies, it increases the dragon's resistances to my condition inflicting attacks. On top of its already high resistance stat, it's safe to assume that this thing's defense is insanely high. I specialize in status conditions, you know? So that's another advantage it has over me. And this skill list is pretty stacked too. I've fought plenty of monsters with high stats than me before, but usually I have the advantage in the skill department. While I might still have a higher number of skills, this fire dragon's skills are as good or even better than mine. Some are the same as mine, some are higher level, and some are even evolved. So I lose in terms of stats and skills, and as a bonus, it's got the type advantage over me. Nevertheless, I have to do it. Because you can't run away from it, it's already locked in on you. If I can't win somehow, this is where I die. I steel myself. It's not like I have no chance of winning at all. Thanks to Mother's attack, my opponent's HP has been reduced. However, the odds still lead toward my defeat. I don't intend to lose since I'm scared of dying, but I have to accept that it's a distinct possibility. So I guess it's time to put my words into action. I'm gonna shine like a comet until I burn away to nothing. I don't intend to die, but if I do, I want to go out in a blaze of glory. Do you want to kill me, Fire Dragon? Then you better be ready to come at me with everything you've got. I'm not so weak that you can't take me out without so much as a scratch, you know. As I steady my resolve, I turn on the intimidation skill that I've been keeping off. My evil eyes are at full throttle. Activate magic warfare, mental warfare, and worm power simultaneously. Begin constructing magic spells. Apparently getting the message, the fire dragon covers its body with flames. Fire dragon must be the evolved form of the fireworm skill. So I guess it makes sense that it can use the abilities of fireworm too, one of which is flame wrap, which is acquired at fireworm level 8. It's an advanced version of the fireworm level 2 ability Heat Wrap, literally wreathing the user in an intense blaze. On top of that, the heat generated increases the user's physical capabilities. Apparently, the fire dragon recognizes me as a strong enemy that isn't to be trifled with. Neither of us underestimate the other. The curtain opens on a fierce, no-holds-barred battle. The fire dragon spits a fireball. It seems to be testing the waters rather than engaging in a serious attack. Still, considering I'm especially weak to fire, it could easily wipe me out in one blow if I take a direct hit. Not to mention, even this casual shot is on par with a fireworm's full-power fireballs. I evade it with all my might. Thanks to the combination of hit and probability super correction, it's not easy to dodge. Even the dragon's weakest attacks require every bit of my enhancement and evasion skills to overcome. I have to make sure good use of thought acceleration and foresight. As the fire dragon spits another fireball, it starts closing the distance between us. The fireball is just a distraction. The real attack follows close behind. Banding its long, snake-like body, the monster whips its enormous tail at me. The simple physical attack is augmented with the power of those flames, an effect that can easily prove fatal to me. I narrowly avoid this attack as well. The fire on its tail grazes my body. That alone is enough to reduce my HP slightly. If it weren't for thought acceleration, giving me time to recognize the fire dragon's approach, and foresight predicting its movements, it would have been a much closer call. For now, my evasion combo seems to ever so slightly outmatch the fire dragon's hit probability combo. But things aren't looking good. No matter how long I fix my evil eyes on it, the fire dragon isn't becoming paralyzed. The cursed evil eye is reducing its HP and SP by the tiniest amount, but is having little effect on its stats. Both abilities are probably butting heads with the dragon's incredibly high resistance, and with enough time, I think the evil eye should still take effect, but it's not like the fire dragon is going to politely wait around until that happens. I barely manage to avoid claws that fly at me shortly after the dragon's tail recedes. Feeling cautious after I avoid all its attacks, the fire dragon backs off a little. I have only two things going for me at the moment. One is that the fire dragon isn't starting out at full health thanks to Mother's attack. Its HP has been cut nearly in half, and while it has stocked up MP as well as SP thanks to Gluttony, those stocks have been reduced quite a bit. And since my cursed evil eye is shaving off its HP faster than its HP rapid recovery skill can counter, it won't be healing anymore. The other silver lining is that it doesn't have its army. The fire dragon's skills are mostly enhanced versions of the fireworms. Naturally, it can do anything a fireworm could. Specifically, I'm thinking of the skill the fireworm used to back me into a corner and cause me all kinds of pain. Command, an advanced version of the leadership skill the fireworm had. A skill that can control its minions with even greater power. Luckily, the dragon's soldiers have all been wiped out by Mother's attack. This is a pure one-on-one fight. Thank you, oh great Mother. However, even after taking all that into account, the fire dragon still has the advantage. I fire a poison shot as I dodge the fire dragon's attack, but it disappears before connecting with the dragon's body. The effect of Imperial Scales must have weakened the magic structure before it even came into contact with the dragon's flame-covered body, and once it did, it was weakened enough that the flame wrap simply evaporated it. The fire dragon didn't need to take any evasive action. Its defenses were enough to nullify the poison shot either way. The monster has attack power that means instant death for me on top of defense that won't budge for any weak attacks. Its speed is higher than mine. If it feels like it, the fire dragon probably could use its speed plus its evasion and probability super correction skills to avoid poison shot too. Okay, this officially sucks. Thanks to my cursed evil eye, the dragon's HP is slowly decreasing, but honestly, there's no way I can bring this huge number down to 0 with evil eyes alone. I would collapse from exhaustion long before then. I'm not expecting much in the way of stat decreases either. I mean, it is working, a little bit. But the speed at which its stats are dropping is much slower than when I used it on other monsters. It'll be a long time before the effects of the stat reducing are actually noticeable too. I'm sure I would end up dead before then. Paralyzing Evil Eye is my best hope for a reversal, but then again, it's probably best not to get my hopes up. That's because the Fire Dragon's status condition resistance skill has just gone up to level 2. Hopefully it had almost all the proficiency it needed already and simply got lucky. If not, then that means its resistance will go up faster than I can break paralysis. I don't think it can ward off the effects completely, but it's probably too much to wish for the Fire Dragon to become completely paralyzed. There goes another move I can't count on. As I roll out more possibilities, my remaining options are getting real sparse. The most effective possible method at this point is to clobber the dragon with enough poison to overwhelm its resistance. My deadly spider poison is the most lethal attack method of any of my skills. Even with status condition resistance, I doubt it could get through that without a scratch, but one hit probably won't be enough to do it in. I can't just throw a lucky punch and hope for the best. I need to be absolutely sure my attacks will hit dead on. But Flame Wrap poses a problem. That fire is so fierce that it whittled down my HP by grazing me. I have to break through that somehow or I won't be able to hit with enough firepower. My attacks will just burn up me along with it. Even as my thoughts race, my body brain keeps desperately avoiding the Fire Dragon's effects. It's so intense that I give up on attacking completely and concentrate on dodging. Even when the magic brain counteracts with spells, the combo of Imperial Scales and Flame Wrap brushes them right off. Even Poison Fog, which I used to massacre so many monsters in the battle against the Fireworm, would be useless here. The Fire Dragon leaps into the air. Seeing that, I quickly adjust my poison synthesis settings. Almost immediately afterward, flames burst out of the Fire Dragon's mouth. An immense breath attack torches the ground. Its Infernal Breath, a level 10 Fire Dragon ability. This wide-range destruction force blows away the nearby earth, melting it and turning the area into a new magma ocean. I jump in the nick of time, invoking weak poison with poison synthesis at the same time. I synthesize the largest amount I can hand and take shelter inside the giant blob of poison. Since I set the damage points to the minimum, my HP doesn't take much damage. The moment I enter the poison ball and the moment the breath attack covers the ground were more or less at the same exact time. The aftermath alone begins to evaporate the weak poison. Even though I wasn't hit directly, my HP still drops. I stretch a thread up to the ceiling and frantically escape before the poison evaporates completely. Then I flee along the ceiling without looking back. Naturally, the Fire Dragon chases after me, but at least I escape the newly formed magma. A fireball is bearing down on me. Kicking off the ceiling, I drop into the air just as the fireball impacts the spot where I was only moments ago. Thrown into empty space, my body is pulled toward the ground by gravity. As if it was waiting for that moment, the fire dragon swoops in with its fangs bared. I pull on the thread I attach to the ceiling, thin enough that the dragon would have difficulty seeing it. At the same time, I synthesize deadly spider poison imbued with the paralysis effect. The fire dragon passes directly beneath me. Then it goes into a tailspin in midair. The instant the fire dragon's mouth closes, my enhanced vision sees it twist its body to narrowly avoid swallowing the poison. My bait-and-switch poison strategy, which has ushered so many middle strata monsters into their graves, has been defeated. At least it bought me enough time to get back down to the ground. But that was a big mistake. The spot I land on is surrounded by magma with nowhere to run. I'm a perfect sitting duck for the fire dragon. It wasn't just attacking me with infernal breath, there was a deeper strategy that involved destroying the ground itself to change the flow of the magma. No matter where I turn, there's nowhere to go except up above me, where the fire dragon has righted itself and is hurtling straight toward me. I can see in its eyes that it won't let me escape. I'm trapped on all sides. The fire dragon unleashes another infernal breath. Roaring flames engulf my entire body without the slightest resistance. Then, just like that, my body burns up into nothing, evaporating without leaving so much as ash. Oh boy. Let's see. I'm going to end this one off here. I'll see you guys in the next video.